Hello and welcome back to Suspended Fanimation. I'm your host, Dennis Patholkis, and this is a new segment here called Is It Worth My Time? Um, so, over the weekend, I watched two new shows, both The Dark Crystal, Age of Resistance, and Carnival Row. And I got to the point where I'm thinking, like, I really can't review these two. They weren't going to make it past the first episode, quite honestly. So I had a little brainchild all of a sudden that came out, and it's called "That's What This Show Is." Is it worth my time? Because I needed something to fill some kind of gaps now that these two shows have left, and essentially what this is now. This is all my opinion, by the way. Is there's so many shows that are out there right now, and people keep asking me all the time, is this worth my time to watch this? They go, you watch a lot of shows. Is this worth my time? Is this good? Is this something worth watching? So that's what I'm doing. I'm kind of I'm going to be going through different shows, old, new movies, things like that, and just kind of giving you a general gist of how things are and if it's worth your time. So they're not going to be really any spoilers involved in any of this. If you've watched the first episode or two, that should be fine. I'm not going to be spoiling it all that much. And let me get the chat up here on my end so I can actually see what's going on. Yeah, exactly. I'm going to be suffering mostly from this. You guys won't. So let me get some business out of the way first. If you like what you see here, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Many of you have already, and thank you so much. I'm up to 351 subscribers right now, which is awesome. Thank you so much for subscribing. I also, if you want to know when I'm be on live again next, you can hit the bell down below. If you've already hit the bell, don't hit it again. It will unclick it. You can go into the bell settings and get as many or as little notifications as you want. I also have my schedule up on suspendedfanimation.com. I have it mirrored over my Facebook page as well. And I have a Twitter, I have an Instagram, and I have a Patreon page, but I don't have the tiers set up as of yet. Thank you. Finally, he thanks me for subscribing. Everyone except for Movie Fanobi. Review shows we both love. Farscape. No, I'm not going to be doing that. So yeah, last night had a little bit of a meltdown here. So what happened was Windows decided to upgrade my camera, the settings on my camera without telling me, and then kind of buried the lead that I needed to restart my computer in order to get my camera to work. So I'm sitting there trying to start up the webcam site here on YouTube, and it wasn't happening because, of course, it was not recognizing the camera at all. And I ended up having to scrap it because I'm sitting there trying to figure out what was going on. I thought maybe YouTube had actually changed out a whole bunch of they were getting ready to switch out some stuff anyway as it was, and I thought they just kind of went a little bit early, but they didn't. So as the old saying goes, it's pback. Problem exists between chair and keyboard, and that's what happened last night. Between chair and keyboard. Yeah, that's the problem, was right there. That's what happened. So I am going to be doing the Dark Crystal Age of Resistance as another Is It Worth Watching episode, but that's probably going to be next week. So yeah, let's get started on this. We need to see your face when you open the box. I'll do the unboxing tomorrow, Viking bitch. When I do the contest results, I'll do it then, because that's I got to fill a little bit of time on that, right? So I'll do the unboxing during the contest results. So basically, I'm giving you guys stuff, you giving me guys stuff, that kind of stuff. Yeah. Talk about the Muppets. I will, Joe, next week is what I'll do. Right now I'm talking about Carnival Row. And someone actually wrote me, I can't remember who it was. I think it was on Facebook, and said, "Oh my God, this is like CSI meets God, I can't remember exactly what they said. There was a couple different genres that were all kind of mashed up, and that's pretty much what's going on. So essentially, what this is fairies and monsters and things like that are real. There is a war brewing someplace overseas, and um, the fairies are coming to a place that looks a lot like London or New York or something like that, like set in the late 18th century. Well, probably late 19th century, I should say. And CSI meets D&D. It was you, Joe. That's right. CSI meets D&D. I added in, Fantastic Beasts and CSI, and I forget what the third one was that I had said. It was just an amalgam of things. I'll mixed in with a little bit of Skinamax softcore porn, low budget softcore porn. Yeah, it. Where do I start with on this? Um, So one of the most confusing things is you don't know what time period it's set in. You don't know where it's actually set in, if it's set on Earth or not, if it's set on an alternate Earth or what it is. Um, it's a fictional city called it almost sounds like Bruges, but it's not. It's yeah, it's a different city altogether, and it was just kind of a weird thing. Yeah, it says a human detective and a fairy rekindle a dangerous affair in a Victorian fantasy world. So it's really not a Victorian fantasy world, because one of the characters in the first episode says, get with the times. It's now the 7th century, and I was like, I rewound it a couple times, and I was like, really, 7th century? And that's what was kind of throwing me off there as to when this is actually set. And then there were some really, really really bad accents, to the point where I had to put on the subtitles, because I honestly could not understand what people were saying. I don't have a problem with British accents. Um, I actually pick up a lot of things fairly well, accent wise. This was just people that was not their native accent doing weird accents, and everyone just had really bad accents, to the point where I ended up having to literally put on the subtitles to see what was going on. So, oh, and by the way, Sasha was watching this with me too, which did not help as well, because Sasha has if she's really bored and she has the attention span of a gnat, then at that point just starts going, at the bad accents and everything like that. Yeah, it was bad. That's all I'm going to say. And the main thing that we boiled it down to was that there was not a lot of character development. They tried doing the world development first before figuring out what their characters were going to do. If their characters are going to even be a little bit of, interesting as well. So yeah, so it is Sasha's fault. Exactly, Pen Farm Girl. She's not here. So uh I watched Carnival Row. It was okay, but it's not a TV show I recommend. I agree with you. I'm sorry, I don't know how to read that. Whoever you are there, it's so if you can tell me how to pronounce that, I will. But yeah. No, Viking bitch. I was actually trying to concentrate on the episode to see Andrew. Thank you. Yeah, because I'm sitting there looking at that, and all I see is just some squiggly line. I know it's some kind of script. I don't know what it is, but thank you for clarifying that it's Andrew. um, and welcome, Andrew, by the way. So yeah, it's I agree with you. It's not a TV show I would recommend, because I honestly took me a while to get through the first episode, and I didn't care anything at all for the characters. Um, you really don't set anything up. And then there's also some inconsistencies too. So you have these fairy folk that have wings and can fly, supposedly. But the very first scene you see is them running away from guys on the ground with guns and werewolf dogs, something like that, that are chasing after them. And the fairies are running through the forest. They're not flying, they're running. And Cara Delevingne, her character comes in and kills one of the dogs and whatnot. And then she starts running with them, trying to get away from people, because they are starting to fire. Basically, they're killing everybody. And she gets to a cliff, and I'm like, oh, well, she's screwed. Obviously, they can't fly with those wings. Those wings are just for show. And then she runs off the cliff and then starts gliding, then starts flying. And I'm like, okay, so why weren't you flying before to get away from the dogs and the guys with the guns if you obviously can fly? And yeah, I'm just sitting there watching it. And then also the physics of things. When you have wings that size that are fluttering that quickly, you should have air displacement, probably a good 10 feet around you, and zero air displacement. And it kind of threw me off at that point. Remember, I have a little bit of background in animation. So sitting there watching this stuff, and I'm like, where's the air displacement at? You're supposed to be doing this real world, right? What's going on? Do they have a charm that goes, around them that doesn't displace anything, any air? I know it's nitpicky at that point, but honestly, if they had a better story that I was focusing more on the characters, I wouldn't have nitpicked it at that point. So, yeah. And then, Orlando Bloom, my God, man, you could tell he's in it just for a paycheck. He's sitting there just almost like he's reading his lines. Not really into it. Cara Delevingne on the other hand, Delevingne, I never know how to pronounce her name. All I know is that she was a model that ended up getting into the movie business through nepotism. But anyway, and it shows. It was in Suicide Squad, Valerian, and she is trying to act, and it's not working. When you have the extras around you are actually doing a better job at acting than your main character. Sorry, I had a gnat flying around there. Yeah, I'm just there are too many problems just in the first episode alone. Yeah. Hey, Christopher Heckman. Yeah, it just way, way, way too many problems. Yeah. Movie Finobi says, I will say that the makeup artistry is stellar. I watched some behind the scenes cool stuff, but sounds like the show doesn't live up to it. No. Again, the world that they built, yes, was great. They did a nice job of world building, but you need a story behind that world building in order to live up to that, to all that artistry and makeup and backgrounds and things like that. Otherwise, you have a pretty setting, but it's just a diorama at that point, you know? Um, yes, exactly, Viking Bitch. It's not worth your time. So for me, yeah, I'm not going to go on to the second episode on this. It's so you're saying Kara is acting well, but side characters are more talented. No, she's trying to act. It's almost painful to watch her act in this. And you could see that she's trying. She's really, really trying. And it's coming off really poorly. Whereas the side characters are doing it effortlessly, is what they're doing. Viking Mitch, honestly, I don't think all the acting classes in the world are going to help her. It's just she has a bad chosen profession, a second profession, I should say. She needs to just go. I hate to say this, but she needs to go back to modeling because, yeah, she is not an actress. I mean, or she can get mute roles like Ruby Rose does. That seemed to help because that got her the Batwoman job, obviously. Yes, I know. I took a little dig in at Ruby Rose. Yeah, that whole enchantress scene too from Suicide Squad, the whole undulating thing that she's doing when she's supposed to be doing the charm, whatever. And I really want to see just the raw footage of that. And David Ayer is just screaming off camera, undulate faster, dance faster. And without the special effects behind it, because it just looked ridiculous. Yeah, her off-screen personality could be awesome, Movie Finobi. I that's fine. But her acting sucks. I'm sorry to say, it really does. And then let's talk a little bit about the softcore porn that's going on. So we get two scenes in here of semi nude. It's boobs basically, and you get Orlando Bloom's butt for the ladies. And then you also have fairy sex going on. So a fairy having sex with a guy, and she's on top of him. She ends up wrapping her legs around him and flying with him up into the air. And yet he still remains straight like this instead of like, relaxed kind of thing. And yeah, it was just kind of a weird thing. I'm just sitting there. I don't need Orlando's butt. Thanks. So you never know, Viking bitch. Oh, and I don't want to, discriminate. It's also for the guys too that are out there that like that. So there you go. Your pants are off. All right, Joe. As long as you're having a good time. Yeah, the wings light up when she peeks too. Exactly, Pen. It was not a good series. And the one thing that actually kind of flashed through my mind near the end of this as I'm watching this is they gave this a second season and they canceled the tick for this. Those are my two things that flashed through my mind at the end of that episode. And yeah, I really don't understand it. I guess, if you get an episode greenlit at Amazon, you automatically get a second season, I guess. Unless you're Kevin Bacon, then you get your series canceled after the first season, or you're Jean-Claude Van Damme and you have a really good episode, a really good series, and they cancel that after one season. Actually, after 6 episodes. Yeah. I really don't know what they're thinking there. I really don't. Yeah. And exactly, Penn. JCVJ was good. Jean-Claude Van Johnson was awesome. That last episode with the time travel brought in opened up so many possibilities that it would have been fun and awesome and good. And it was so meta, so tongue-in-cheek, and so well self-aware as well that it was good. It was one of those things that if you get a chance to watch it, go and find it on Amazon Prime. I think the first 6 episodes are still up. Jean-Claude Van Johnson. That is something that was really good. Penn says, I never expected to like this show, but you convinced me to try it. Now I want more. Exactly. I wanted more of it too. And I wasn't sure what I was getting myself into when I watched it. And I watched that and I was like, this is genius. This really is genius. Her eyes light up. Hold my beer. Yeah. Yeah. I agree with you. Tamarocks, they saw Starlight's eyes light up on the boys and thought, let's do that. But instead of her eyes, let's have her wings light up. You go to Hollywood, Dennis, with a lot of cocaine to get your shows back. Yeah, obviously. Well, now you have to have a dump truck full of coke because, they have the hoses permafused to their butts. And yeah. Thank you, Mufinobi. So yeah, is this worth your time? No, it's not. It really isn't. Unless you're really into fairy fucking, I guess. It's a painful watch. It really is. I spent a good majority of the episode making fun of the way Orlando Bloom said mutton chops. Mutton chops. The man had mutton chops because Sasha couldn't understand what it was when he first said it. And she thought he said man chops. And I'm like, no, it was mutton chops. And then he said it a couple more times during the episode. And I was laughing because, it just came out really bad, mutton chops. And so, yeah. Fairy fucking, exactly what it's called. Yeah. Yeah, man chops was the other one. Yeah, that was pretty damn funny. So all in all, an hour-long episode took me an hour and a half to get through because We had to keep pausing it because we couldn't understand what was being said. Then we put the subtitles on to watch what the hell was going on. And then even then we're making fun of some shit. So we're having to rewind some stuff because like, what did that just say? Did they just say what I thought they said? And we go back, especially this takes place in the 7th century. Seven? Yeah, I don't know. Uh, so many things that needed to be answered and or cleaned up or just thought out before you put things to series. Or if you're going to start a whole new world like that, I don't know, do a little animated series first. If you need to explain it, maybe that would help. A comic book series that lasts maybe a year before the show comes out. Because yeah, yeah. Uh Cylon spines lit up before that other series too. Yeah. Well, it wasn't Species. Species was the first one where her spine lit up when she had sex, right? Natasha Henstridge. There we go. So, yeah, that is. Oh, sorry, there had a little gnat. It's been a little bit warm here, so all the gnats and flies are out all of a sudden. And we also had a little bit of monsoonal rain, and yeah, what happens is when so San Diegans don't know how to drive to begin with. You add a little bit of water to the mix, and then all hell breaks loose out in the freeways. Yeah. You're welcome, Tamarocks. Yeah, it's one of those things that, like I said, it came to me as I was thinking of what the hell I was going to fill the time with. And because now, I have two shows that I can't really watch in its entirety. And like I said, I'll next week I'll get to the Dark Crystal, Age of Resistance. I've got some choice things to say about that one too. And yeah, you want to go to Texas? Is that what it is, Mufinobi? Yeah, but no, I figured I'd save that for next week. I was originally going to start that off yesterday with that, but yeah, I didn't get past the first episode myself, Viking bitch, on that one. So, like I said, it's something to look forward to. So, tell me what you think about this. If you want to see more of this show, this particular segment, is it worth my time? Because, like I said, it'll be TV shows, movies, stuff that is out there that you might not have seen before. Um, that might be worth catching. And I'm not talking about, like the flu or anything like that. Some good movies, some good TV shows that you might have missed at some point in time. Yeah. Sadly, I still liked Carnival Row more than Dark Crystals, but that's fine, Pan. Like I said, this is just my opinion on this. You guys can still go and watch it and see what you think for yourselves. I'm not the end all be all of, uh, taste or opinion or anything like that. If you like something, go and watch it. Don't be beholden to someone else's opinion, quite honestly. Yeah. I like it. Dennis Moore would be good. Okay, cool, Tamrocks. Then I will definitely give it a shot and see if this will work. And Viking Bitch actually listened to me and watched it again too. What are you talking about, Move for Nobi? Dark Crystal keeps getting positive reviews. Someone on the Twitch said they stopped at 3. Someone who liked it said to hang in. I only did 1.5 myself. Yeah. Yeah, I lasted less than that, Move for Nobi. So yeah. Use your superpower to cancel. Keep reviewing it. No. I really can't. So if I really hated it, Joe, and it would just be hate watching then at that point, and I'd rather just do a one and done hate watch, I guess you could say, on that, and just say, yeah, it's unwatchable. Thank you, Penn. Yeah, like I said, it hit me all of a sudden. I'm like, hey, wait a minute. People keep asking me about this. I swear to God, people at work ask me, and they're like, "Hey, have you heard of such a show? Have you watched that?" And if I have, then they go, "What do you think about it?" I've been thinking. There's a lot of stuff out there. There is so much stuff out there, and then with Disney Plus coming online in November, um, there's going to be even more stuff out there, and time is going to be at a premium for a lot of people. And people are going to go, okay, so what out making a decision on, what it is that you're watching. Uh, I'd be interested in Dennis's take on the Dark Crystal. I'm going to be doing that next week, Christopher. I will. I will do that next Tuesday, Monday. I'll do that next Monday. How about that? Yeah. So tomorrow, though, is going to be the boys' contest results. So that is where I'm giving away the foam finger, literally the foam finger, which is back in the other room. This coin, that is the boys' coin. That is the second place prize. And the third place prize, which is the wristband from the preview night, the exclusive preview night at Comic-Con. Yeah. And then, of course, Friday is going to be Titans Season 2 from DC Universe, Episode 1. Saturday is Saturday Morning Blast Off, where I talk about the genre news of the week and any other genre stuff you guys want to talk about. And Sunday is Preacher. Preacher. The last season of Preacher, which is really, really boring because it's moving so goddamn slow. But I'm still covering it. Yeah. It's not bad. It has its moments, but it's just really kind of boring. And then Monday, of course, will be the Dark Crystal. It'll be Is It Worth My Time? The Dark Crystal edition. Yeah, Legion did spoil the shit out of me. It really did, Penn. I have to agree. Legion raised the bar so far up that I know other shows won't compare to it. I don't try and compare other shows to Legion at all. I really don't. I just want something that's watchable, that has a decent story, quite honestly. Oh, wow. That's kind of weird. I just realized one of my shades outside is down. I don't know if it fell or not. I think it did. But that's kind of weird. I was wondering why I could see trees all of a sudden outside. Yeah. Anyway, it did not just kick in. It's been going on for a while. I just happened to look outside, and I can look right outside, and I was wondering what was wrong with that picture, and it was just kind of really bothering me there for a second. And then I just realized what it was, and I think the whole shade just kind of went down. Is that I get a lot of sun that comes in through the window over here, as you know, and I think my shade finally bit the dust and went down with the count. But it's funny, all your mods and Morks know what's in the box. What's in the box? What's in the fucking box? Yeah. I'll be talking about the Sabrina series too, Joe. Don't worry about that. I'll get to that too. I might do 2 Is It Worth My Times next week. I think that's what will be the case next week. Yeah. Since I'm trying to think. Yeah, I think I'll do one Monday and do one on Wednesday. I don't have anything planned on Thursdays now. God, let me take a look at the schedule really quickly while we're here. Yeah, because Yeah, it was supposed to be Carnival Row and the Dark Crystal and Titans. And oops, that's all kind of foobarred right now, at least until October. So, oh yeah, that's the other thing too. We got word that The Watchmen, the series on HBO, is premiering on October 6th of all things. So that will be covered as well. And when is that? That is on a Sunday. So hopefully I think actually Preacher ends by then. Oh my God, that's actually kind of amazing. Yeah. All right. That actually works fairly well. But there is also something else that comes out on the 6th. Oh, that's Batwoman. I don't care about that. But yeah, I think that is it. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's Mr. Robot. That's what it is. It's Mr. Robot. Thank you. Mr. Robot takes precedence over Watchmen, quite honestly. I hate to say it. Yeah, Mr. Robot takes precedent over, the Watchmen. Yeah. So with that said, I'm going to do a little bit more business again. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button if you like what you see here. If you're still on the fence, there's going to be a video that pops at the very end here that is going to take a video from my vast video library based on all the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching, and it's going to pluck a video that best matches everything you've been watching and pop it up there. Up here is going to be Preacher, is what's going to be up there. And if you want to know when I'm going to be on live again next, you can hit the bell down below. You can go into the bell settings and get as many or as little notifications as you want. You can also go to my website, suspendedfanimation.com, and take a look at the schedule up there. I change it out every week. I also mirror it on my Facebook page. I have a Twitter, I have an Instagram, and I have a Patreon, but I don't have any tiers set up as of yet. So, oh, you broke your phone smashing the like button, man. Well, thank you for smashing the like button, but sorry you broke your phone. Yeah. So I'm glad everyone enjoyed this inaugural segment of Is It Worth My Time? And hopefully there'll be many more of those to come. And it's actually good to have a nice little thing that isn't dependent on a TV show schedule to watch things with. No more tears. Yes. Thanks, Movie Finobi. Can always count on you. And I got the box sitting here on the floor. I was going to ask, am I supposed to get the box wet at all? Does it matter? And if it dropped down a bunch of flight of stairs, is that going to matter at all either with what happened with the box? I'm just asking for a friend. That's all. Just down after midnight. That's supposed to be eating Movie Finobi. That's not water. Get your genres right, man. Yeah. All right, guys. I'm going to let you guys go. Thank you, everybody who joined me tonight in the chat. And thank you if you made it this far in the video. I will see you tomorrow for the boys contest. Until then, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out, because you never know if I'm going to like your TV show or not, and it might wind up on this segment. Thanks, everybody. I will see you next time, and have a good night. Good night, everybody.